I am now live. Let me add Lisa McCardle to this. Da-da-da-da-dum. There she is. So she might be joining us in just a couple of minutes. But today we are going to be talking about twin flame relationships. Raise your hand if you're going through it in a twin flame relationship right now. Lisa and I are both Aquarians, and it seems to be par for the course for us right now, this whole twin flame relationship thing. And Lisa's got a really interesting perspective on twin flames, really different than most people. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, like what is a twin flame, it's often somebody that you get together with after you've both been through like hell, basically. You've both been through big things, some kind of big transformation in life or big challenge in life, and then you come together and this incredible bond forms and this incredible healing starts to happen. Oh, why is she unable to join? I don't know. Oh, let me see. Let me try again. Lisa. Cancel. Invite. Technology. So much fun. We're actually going to start doing it a little bit differently so that we don't have to run into these problems coming up in the future. But one of the things that happens with twin flames is there's this push-pull thing that happens. Like a chaser and a runner, and then it can switch. And the other person starts running away, and then the other person starts chasing. So it can be really frustrating, but there's such a deep soul bond between the two of you. And then there's all these life circumstances, right? And so how do we like find our way to common ground? How do we find our way to each other, to a place where we can actually coexist and co-create life, a beautiful life, when twin flames can get on the same page and they can get on the same journey together? It is just so magical, so magical. All right, let's see. She can't get on. She waved. All right, well then I'm gonna end this video and then we're gonna try getting on. I'm trying to bring you in. Let's see. I've invited her multiple times.
Hold on.
That's so weird. I mean, I invited you the same exact way like 3 times.
Okay, you have to accept it, but we're here. Hi.
Awesome. Well, I've already sort of started diving into twin flames and what I know about them, and to let everyone know that that's what we're talking about today.
Awesome.
And yeah, so why don't you give us your 1-2? Because I've already given some of my 1-2 on it.
1-2 twin flames. This is my 1-2 on twin flames. First of all, I have walked a lot of women through the journey of twin flame relationships. And if I'm to be super transparent, I don't wish for that experience in this lifetime. In my experience, they're beautiful, beautiful relationships. They burn really hot. They're very intimate. They're very sensual and soul recognized. And they often burn everything to the ground, if I'm to be really honest in what I've experienced. So my take on twin flames, and it's a little bit different than many in the spiritual community, but I believe that this is the lifetime where we complete karma. And I believe that twin flame relationships are the epitome of karma. And so, if it's a twin flame, it's 2 halves of the whole, but it burns hot. And as I said, it can burn it to the ground sometimes. So in my opinion, my humble opinion and my experience, it's the two halves of the soul that come to burn, but they serve as such a mirror that you cannot help but go into the depths of your own shadows. They bring that fire, that flame, to the shadow. It is an expanse of your growth. It is a rapid expanse of growth. Nothing feels as beautiful in what I've witnessed as that experience. And it can have, as we're still navigating duality, it can have that equal amount of pain through it because it feels like it's the other part of you. But it's not actually your soul mate, it's your flame. And the purpose of the flame is to get you to grow. And so if this is a karmic cleanup, then all of those are being brought in right now so that we can clean up the karma. I look at karma as a debt. It's a debt. It's this 3D construct that we learn from suffering and separation and longing, and that something's outside of ourselves to spawn us into this growth of actualized remembrance from 5D reality, which says that you're separate from nothing. And I believe the twin flame comes in as the kabam, kaboom to activate us there. And unfortunately, it's beautiful and it's painful. It is a deep dive in duality. And because this is the lifetime where they get reconciled, where those are reconciled, reconciliation can happen in a variety of ways. It can happen in the coming together and the completing of karma. But what I often see, and I'm not saying this in a way to disappoint anyone that's going through it, but what I often see is the reconciliation of them being the claiming back of self that other part had, and then finding space and grace within it. That's my take.
How would somebody know if they are face to face with a twin flame?
My sense is that twin flame relationships happen really, when the coming together comes, it happens really fast, like it ignites. There's an ignition. In many ways, it feels different than anything you've ever felt before because there's a depth and a breadth to it that is undeniably something very different, something very different. It feels like coming home. They're deeply passionate relationships because it is the flame of your other half. So I think part of the I don't want to I have to say this while it's coming through. Part of the opportunity within it is you identify a missing part of yourself as coming back, and that ignites a flame within you. What you get to understand is that flame exists within you. They're just lighting it. The attachment to them to provide it is the healing. Mm-hmm. How do you know you're in it? They happen fast. They happen furious. You've never felt this way before. You've never felt this seen. The passion is ignite. It's like the volume turns up really high, super sonic. The passion is off the charts because it's hot. It's flame. And flame gone unattended will burn shit down. So how do you tend to it, I guess, is really the question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
That is the question.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I feel like I've just gone through 2 in a fucking row, and it's just been insane. And I have grown and gone so much further spiritually. And shit, am I still live here? My internet sucks. I'll just keep talking. So yeah, I have gone through it a couple times now, and I'm going through it currently. And there's something that happens, I think, that's so important for your own personal evolution. So, I mean, if one does come along, you can't not get into it. Like, you can't, that's what's happening. That's what does happen. You get into it. The magnetic pull and the magnetic attraction and the being in that union with that person is just too damn good. Like, you can't not get hooked into it. So if it happens to you, embrace the journey, embrace the ride, and know that it is for you to grow exponentially and spiritually. It is for you to discover a new way of being in union with the divine. And for me, it's really showing me how to just be such in such a like how to get into pure consciousness in a way that I can move into it within 10 seconds, you know, to go from the persona and the emotion and the depth of all of that pain and sorrow and suffering, to go from that to, yeah, we are done with Instagram Live. We're having so many technical difficulties. Let's see if we can get Lisa back. To go from that place of like the emotion and the stuckness and the persona. Sorry, I'm just carrying on with our conversation.
I don't know what's going on.
Welcome back.
Hi.
And to go from there to like this state of pure consciousness where to be excited about like where all possibility exists, you know. And if that existed, if that was a thing, if I experienced that, if I had that encounter, then what else is possible, you know? So to stay in that, in the emotion of excitement, of curiosity, of possibility, like, wow, you know, maybe this comes around again, maybe it doesn't, but it's propelling me personally into a new level of like, if I can let go of the person, if I can let go of myself, if I can let go of the story and all the people who are involved in this, you know, if I can just like float away from them and like rise into a higher state of consciousness where everything is possible, and trust that no matter what, I am being held, I am being supported, and I'm being guided. When I rise into that state, and I mean, I kid you not, it is like moment to moment throughout the day.
Yeah, because it's core, sister. So I witnessed you, and I so applaud your vulnerability, especially as, you know, people can bear witness to what it actually feels like to be in the beauty of it and in the reconciliation of it. It's intense.
It's like it can be like going from like such deep pain to such deep like trust and glory in like 3 second span, you know, as you get better and better at it. So currently I'm tuning in with Joe Dispenza. That's actually really helping me quite a lot. And before, in my previous twin flame relationship, it was Muji, you know, so it's like Muji kind of prepared me for this to get into this plane and this field of pure consciousness. And now taking that to another level of like co-creating with that pure consciousness. And, you know, it's like, I'm clear. I know what I want from the universe. I know what I want out of this lifetime and out of this reality. I'm very clear. But what does the universe want for me? That's the real question. Wow. You know, just because I know doesn't mean that's what's right for me.
Well,
so
let's also remember that you're clear about what you want, but what is different, the difference between our clarity and the universe's clarity is the attachment to it being delivered in a certain way, in a certain person, in a certain package. Exactly. So your clarity of what you want, the universe will deliver. It just might not be in the package that you've attached that desire to.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Which is what the twin flame teaches. It's like you get to understand how to love that intently, but you get to also understand how to not attach to it coming from that delivery system, because that's the true karma that holds us in a 3D realm that says, I am more whole because you exist in my life. And the reality is that you are in the wholeness the moment you choose that wholeness. They're simply bringing the flame to your remembrance. And it's intense. So I hold you and everyone going through twin flame relationships in that like such high regard. Is it possible? Is that the journey to gather all that flame? I mean, birth by fire, right? Like fire transmutes. It is the phoenix rising from the ash, and this time it rises in its full glory, in its fullness. What would you, being at the place you're in where you are now, you know, sitting at the question of releasing second twin flame, how do you advise people to move through this journey of letting go?
I think it's just it's going to be different for everyone's situation and journey because of whatever's going on within the story around it. And I think you just have to keep your finger on the pulse of when it's time. I was saying before you hopped on, there's a lot of times there's like a chaser and a runner, and it's like it'll flip flop, it'll go back and forth, a chaser, runner. And if you're in a state where you're like, you're the chaser and they're running away, they're not just running away from you, they're running away from themselves. They're running away from some truth that they don't want to look at. And that's what's hard, because you can't hold up a big enough mirror. I mean, you can hold up a mirror and maybe they'll look into it, but it's like you also have to be like, here's the mirror, see you later, good luck with it, and then walk away. And maybe they will turn around and chase too. But it can flip flop a lot. It can be really, it can take up a lot of your energy, a lot of your chi, because it is very emotional. So I think you have to keep your finger on the pulse of what is most nourishing for you in each moment. It's not something you can really like put a time frame on, like, oh, I'm going to do this until the end of, December. It's more like you just listen to spirit, listen to your own inner beloved, really nourish your own inner beloved, like spend full days where it's like, okay, what does my inner beloved want right now? Okay, they want a cup of tea, or okay, they want to walk to the beach, or oh, they want to take a hot tub, or they want to do some work. Like, what is it that would be nourishing for you moment to moment to moment? I think that the more that you can turn the focus back in on yourself and practice whatever you're learning evolutionarily and spiritually, like whatever's coming to you that is like, this is why this is happening for me.
Yeah.
Be in deep practice with that, be in deep union with that, and the rest will take care of itself. And I have seen twin flame relationships come together, and they can be so beautiful and so powerful. They can work out. As long as if you can let go of your attachment to them working out, you're going to be in the best situation that you can be in. And that again is just, it's a matter of timing. It's a matter of your own heart. Like, you really can't force your heart to be like, okay, I'm going to stop being the chaser now. I'm going to go and turn around and go in the other direction. But you can invite that. You can invite your heart to move in that direction. And I'd say that's like where I'm at right now, just like inviting that. And there's some things still to complete, so once those things complete, I'm sure that I will find it within myself to just be like, yeah, good luck with that mirror, see you later.
Well, and also just to remind, it's not, that doesn't happen in a flash. It'd be nice to just be able to disconnect and get there. You said a few things that I think are really key. You said, as it's happening for you. And I think it's so important to remember that this is part of your soul's agreement. This is part of the twin flames agreement to conquer duality and to unity, that nothing that human has brought to you doesn't already exist within you. It's a remembrance. And so that inner wisdom awakening is the ignition, it is the gift. And that when there's no longer attachment to that being outside of you, it's when the medicine has occurred for you. You created this. And again, it's that practice of non-attachment, and attaching to nothing, allowing for everything, knowing that you're separate from nothing, no matter where it is or in your perception is not existing. And how can you use that as fuel to ignite your, even more powerful persona, expression, soul? It's an ignition that can be carried into the world and magnetize. It's all for you.
It's for you. It's to brighten your light even bigger and brighter than it was before. And it's not always, it doesn't feel like that, but it is.
Yeah. So I think next week we'll go into twin flame too, and also I just want to say, I think we're going to pivot a little bit how we do this. I think we're going to go live in a place that's a little bit more shareable
and stable.
Yeah. So that we can, I think we're going to live stream Facebook, YouTube, and then share it to Instagram. So we are going to keep our Dreaming the Queen Awakes going because it brings me joy.
Me too.
and it brings you joy, and hopefully it brings all of you joy who are witnessing this. So we'll expand it. We'll let you know where to find us, and we're sending tons of love to your light. Let your flame burn. Let it burn, baby. Let it burn.
Let it burn, baby. Much love, y'all.
Much love, Chuck.